Like I got linked up with my spirit guide when like I wasn't even trying to. So to give a little bit of backstory, it was like I was already lucid dreaming a lot, and I was already astral projecting, astral traveling. I was already familiar with different states of consciousness, right? And I was all like flying around in dreams, and I was already doing all the little bullshit that I had set out to do at the time. Ready, I guess I was ready to tap into some purpose, or I was just getting bored with where I was at, and I was just ready for the new thing. Like I was ready for the next phase of whatever this thing is. So somehow I got real fascinated with the Akashic records. I was studying it real heavy and shit, and I was just like I wanted to go to the Akashic records, or I wanted to read my Akashic records, like I wanted to get my book, like all this shit or whatever. This is how I was seeing it at the time. So one morning I'm in the bed, sleep paralysis kick in. That's I cross over to the other side, usually, always through sleep paralysis. Like I had sleep paralysis like real bad every like all of my life. Anyway, so as I'm crossing over to the other side, I already got my intention set from before. They're like, okay, let me see, take me to the Akashic records. I want to see my Akashic records or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I just had my mind set on the Akashic records. Like whenever I cross over, just to see, I didn't know what was going to happen, if anything was going to work or whatever. So as I say that and my attention's there, this is me as I'm crossed over now. If you know, you know. So I'm like Akashic records, Akashic records, and then suddenly a hand, right? A hand grabbed my leg in a real gentle way, didn't startle me or nothing, but just grabbed my leg and pulled me out my body, right? And takes me through the house. Though the house is totally different than the actual house that I'm in physically, right? So to paint the scene, it's like I'm laying on my back, like floating in the air, and this hand is pulling me, guiding me through this house. So we start going through this long hallway, and then I stop. When I stop, I look over, and there's a hole in the wall. In the hallway wall, there's a hole in the wall, and there's gift paper hanging out. And in the middle of the gift paper is an old ass looking book, right? So I'm like, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. So I reach in, I take the book out, I look at it, I open it up, I flip a couple pages. I'm like, damn, it's just an old ass book. It's like, it looks like just a whole bunch of faded letters. Like, I can't make nothing out. I probably made out like two or three actual real words in the book. But anyway, I was already so hyped though about the experience. You know what I'm saying? That like this shit really just happened. So anyway, I close the book. I say thank you. Boom. Then I wake back up. When I wake up, the sleep paralysis is still kicking in. I can't move my body. You know what I'm saying? So I don't fight it or nothing. I'm so amped up about the experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to have another experience. So I just relax and I just go back in and I cross back over. And this time I ask a question, and I'm like, um, how can I unlock my psychic power? Some shit to that effect, right? And then same thing, but this time like I can feel a hand grab me by my big toe, pull me out my body, start going through the house in the same way, right? This time, my vision, I'm looking and there's a ceiling, right? So I'm looking at the ceiling and there's a square in the ceiling. It's a square hole in the ceiling. And I'm getting pushed up to the ceiling. And then I open it up and it's a whole bunch of red and yellow folded up, neatly folded up like blankets. Like this what it puts me in the mind of. to where I'm pulling out these blankets one by one, and I'm pulling them out and I'm pulling them out. And as I'm doing all this, I can also hear the cartoons going on from the TV in the next room. This is on that frequency. It's really not no TV, no other room. It wasn't no other rooms in my house at the time. Like, but that's the frequency where I was on, where I can hear these kids in the next room watching cartoons. You know what I'm saying? TV was up loud. Like I can hear this like clear as day. So anyway, I'm up here pulling out these blankets about the attic or so what it seems like. You know what I'm saying? And then after I get down all the blankets, it's a picture. It's a picture, right? Put me in the mind of a tarot card, right? It's a single picture, and I grab it, and it's a picture. It's like a cartoonish picture. It's animated, and it's a picture of a bumblebee riding on the back of a rhino, and they standing on the mountaintop, looking down like at a village or some shit. The people down there, something like that. It was a bald head bumblebee riding on the back of a rhino, looking down, standing on a mountaintop, and the rhino and shit was looking back at me, smiling and shit. Like this was the picture. Like it was vivid, hella vivid. You know what I'm saying? Like real as real can be. Anyway, and I'm like, all right, whatever that means. And then I think like I wake up right after that. But anyway, that's when I'm like, oh shit. A little while later, like I keep working with this energy and all this, and I mean shit's different now. But yeah, that's when I first got linked up with the spirit, man, and shit's real.